My name is Dr. Charles Uti. I'm the General Secretary for International Association of African Authors and Scholars Professional Development Institute, IAAAS-PDI. Thank you.
Why do you think it's necessary for you to come all the way from US to Gambia to teach the youths of the Gambia about leadership?
Well, coming to the Gambia was motivated by the fact that we have seen the enthusiasm and enthusiastic nature of the Gambian youths, and following the decaying leadership system that we have seen in Africa, that brought our organization to the point where we began to think of what to do to bring about the required change that will take Africa to her rightful place, understanding the amazing potentials that Africa as a continent has in terms of human resources, in terms of natural resources. Africa is so loaded, yet so impoverished. We have seen this impoverishment to the point of excessive brain drain, where the young, talented, endowed future of Africa is being shipped out day after day, all in the quest for greener pasture in the West, leaving Africa bare to old criminals in politics who call themselves leaders, who have plundered the continent at the expense of the youth. And so we believe that catching them young is our next move to bring about the expected change. So if we get the youths to have a reset of mindset, a change of thought and pattern of thinking that will influence their actions in the future when they get in positions of leadership, that will help Africa. That is why we have come to the Gambia, using Gambia as a case study for what we want to achieve in Africa as a whole. Thank you.
Okay, what did you assess after interacting with the youths for 3 days?
Wow. Just like before, what we have seen in this project is not strange, because in 2022 we were here. We had a similar program. That was when this whole concept began, and we saw something that stunned every one of us in the team, and that has engendered our partnership with the Gambia in different facets. And in this season, we decided to partner with the Young Writers Association and the National Youth Parliament of the Gambia to ensure that we had an all-encompassing youth representation that will come and be trained, because the theme of this meeting is resetting Africa leadership mindset. And to do that, we needed the youth to do that. And so what we have seen, the enthusiasm, the response, the participation, the understanding and acceptance of the training is something that we are delighted about, we are thankful, and we are proud of the Gambian youth. Thank you.
Okay, what are some of the things do you think the organizers should adjust?
Yeah, I mean, just like in everything, there are drawbacks. Um, Part of the things we have seen in the training that had itches, we are somehow not human, but they were technical. We had technical itches, which again is part of the problem in Africa, where we don't have effective power that is constant. We don't have enhanced technology. They were sometimes drop down in the Wi-Fi quality and all those stuff. So the quality of material that was given in this meeting was large, was huge, enormous, comprehensive, detailed. But the challenges we had were in the processes of organizing. Again, we are not on ground, so the partners we had some challenges, economic part of it, and technology was also a problem. So going forward, we will make adequate preparations bearing these hiccups in mind to ensure that subsequently we'll be able to avert them and have a smooth flow of communication and transmission as we proceed. Thank you.
What's your final message?
Oh, my final message is still as simple as it is still calling on African youths to embrace this change that is come, to open up their heart to this change and to gear up to move on with this change. And what is this change? That Africa is the most blessed, most resourced continent in the world. But the only way we can show who we are is by our youths taking their rightful place, developing themselves, getting ready for the opportunity that is to come. And that is why we say in IAAAS-PDI for this program, seeking leadership skills first before seeking leadership positions. So you must be trained, you must be equipped, you must be endowed, you must have what it takes. Understand the basics, the nitty-gritty to be able to support, to lead, to guide, to direct, to encourage, to empower Africa. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Charles.
Thank you so
We are
much.
glad to have you here.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure having me. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Gambia. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Omaru Tanimu, and I am from North Bank region of the Gambia. I am from I call it the Republic of Nyomi. When I tell my students I'm from the Republic of Nyomi, they say, oh, so Gambia is too. We have another country. So I teach them to tell them that. Yes.
Okay, sir, thank you so much. We are glad to have you here.
Yeah.
Do you think events like this will improve the youths of the Gambia?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Largely, see, what happens here is this. The Gambia has the potential, lots and lots of potentials of becoming a haven when you talk about strategic leadership. So leadership training is what our youths in the Gambia need most. And I say these events like this, would actually enhance the capacity and of course showcase, bring out the best, from our youths. Zinta Institute have attempted this. We have done some trainings for young people here, and we are still holding many more with the National Youth Council of the Gambia, because we have a working partnership with National Youth Council. Yes, on leadership training.
Okay, what do you assess after interacting with the youths?
My interaction here, I see passion, I see hunger, I see thirst. I see youths who are zealous. I see the hunger. You could see it. So my interaction actually noticed. I noticed that there's so much that is required, and so much is needed, and so much must be done in the Gambia here to ensure that we get the best. They need that. Just need a small key, 1, 2, 3, and of course, we'll get it done right here.
Okay.
Yes.
What message do you have for the leaders that are out there?
My message, principally for two leaders, the organizers of the program, they will need to do more and come up with strategic leadership training that does not have to take a long time for the youth to comprehend and assimilate. That's one. And for the youth leaders, my encouragement to them is that they should keep on. They should keep holding on. Because there's something here, if they should stay focused on this, there's a guarantee that someday nations will come to the Gambia to learn leadership. It is in history that the Gambia here, around this region, around this West African region, they traveled all the way to come and learn administration here in the Gambia. So it is possible. It is possible. It means here we have to be intentional. The leaders have, leaders have to be intentional. They have to be purposeful, and they have to have a clear, definition of what they want. I show you something here. In a couple of years, it's going to be a different Gambia, because the leadership will be that which would influence people, harness the potentials of people to see and be able to do what they would do to grow this nation, the Gambia, and of course, by implication, Africa.
Okay. Why do you think it's necessary for youth to involve in leadership planning?
It has been said here that youths are leaders of tomorrow.
Yeah.
It is obvious that the older people will have to give way, for the young people to pick up and of course carry the baton. So it means here that leaders, youths, in leadership, as a mantra, must be respected, must be upheld, and must be followed duly. Why? Because the baton will have to be handed over someday to the youths. That is the idea, because they will be the one to lead, and that's the point I want to stress here.
So what's your final message?
My final message to our viewers is this: we have come to a point where true leadership is lacking in our own circle, and it has become very necessary for us, Madam Journalist, it has become very necessary for us to come up with a clear understanding of what leadership is. Like I define leadership. Leadership I define as a capacity to influence others through inspiration, not just cajoling people, but you have to inspire people. That is generated by a clear passion. Good vision. And this vision is backed up by passion. And this passion is supported by conviction. And this conviction is what brings about purpose. So it means here, leadership without purpose is no leadership at all.
Exactly.
That is the point, ma.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay,
I appreciate you.
Glad to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Dr. Franklin Obiago. I'm a pastor, I'm an author, I'm a coach, I'm an advocate for leadership values. I've authored so many books, and one of my passion right now and in life is to see how we can raise young leaders to be able to take Africa through the digital stage. Because what we have discovered and what we have found out is that the leaders that have taken us, over the last few years, most of the leaders, other leaders have failed Africa. And we believe that the hope of Africa presently is lying with the young leaders. And unless these leaders acquire skills, leadership skills first before leadership position, they will not be able to take Africa to where Africa is supposed to be. That's my passion. That's what we're trying to do right now.
We are honored to have you here. Why do you think it's necessary for you to come all the way from US to Gambia to train the youths of the Gambia about leadership?
Well, I actually came from Nigeria. It is my colleagues that came from the US. I joined them from Lagos, Nigeria. It is so important because we believe that the emergence of the new leaders in Africa is not something we can leave to chance. It's something that we have to sacrifice, something we have to pour ourselves into, whatever it will take. Because we know that Africa have the best resources. Africa, have the best climate. Africa is so much blessed. Africa is the most centralized continent in the world. Unfortunately, Africa is the least developed. Africa, is filled with poverty. So, and something has to be done to be able to take Africa out of these challenges. And unless we raise leaders that understand that everything rises and falls on leadership, we can't have Africa where we want it to be. So that's the reason why we have to put down our money, put down our time, put down our energy, and everything that it will take, to be here.
Okay, what did you assess after interaction with the youths for like 3 days?
What I see here is amazing. The hunger to learn. I've discovered that, because they have not been trained, they know there's a problem, they know there's a challenge, but they do not know what to do. They just need somebody to guide, somebody to direct, somebody to train them. So the hunger I see here is actually mind-blowing. So what it means is that if we can devote more resources and more time and train more leaders, there's hope for the Gambia. There's hope for Africa. Unfortunately, what we see is that our leader, those in political position now, are not caring for this. We're trying to bring them along. You understand? So that's the reason why NGOs are taking that responsibility to see they can train, to bring that consciousness in the life, of the young ones, so that they can take responsibility for themselves. If they are not being trained by government or by their political leaders, we can train them. They can train themselves. And we want to create that hunger that they need to develop themselves to be able to take responsibility when the opportunity comes. Because definitely, the opportunity is going to come.
Okay, what are some of the things you think the organizers should adjust?
As you can see, in the hall that we're using, there's you can see that the Bluetooth speakers is not connecting with the system, so we are not getting the quality sound, especially when we are playing videos, and when we are trying to make a connection. But these are just little teething issues when something is starting. So we've seen that we need to make sure that we have the connections down, because right now we're using personal connection, which is not strong. So if we are going to have this particular program again, we're going to have like proper connection down, and then we're going to have Bluetooth speakers that are well connected to the systems, so that even those people who are outside the world can receive what we are doing at the same time. So there's a lot of things that need to be done. Outreach to the world. We're supposed to be streaming directly, that whatever we are doing, everywhere you are in the world, you can actually connect. But even our friends and other partners in the US are still having challenges reaching out. So we believe that by the time we're having this program, all these things we have discovered now, we'll have it ironed out. Whether it is something that we can contract that you people who are in this space will do, is something we need to discuss, so that we'll do what we are best at doing, and you do what you are best at doing. All we want is let it be streamed out live, and let there be no issues or connections, and whatever we want to do, to be plug and play.
What's your final message?
My final message is that there is hope for Africa. My final message is that Africa must rise. My final message is that we must make a commitment. We must make a commitment, to train the young leaders in the Gambia and other part of Africa. And if we're able to raise 10,000 leaders in Gambia, Gambia will change. I'm very sure of that. If we're able to raise 10,000 leaders in every part of Africa, Africa cannot be the same. Because the reason why the leaders are taking, their different populations for granted is because of lack of information. Because the people that are being led don't even know what to do. Now, when people understand that they must take responsibility for the development of their country, they must train and develop themselves for leadership, nobody could take them for a ride. You know, for example, if you don't have vision, you don't have influence, you don't have compassion, you don't have empathy, you are not looking out for the good and welfare of your community, we will not follow you. I mean, your countrymen will not follow you. You know, some people will buy their conscience with a few dollars, a few dollars here and there, but you are mortgaging your future. You are selling out your birthright for a pound of porridge. But if you understand that and refuse to take all those things and insist that the right thing should be done and the right people should be in position, that's the beginning of the change we are expecting in Africa.
Thank you so much, Mr. Franklin.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
My name is Abdullah Oba. I am the clerk and administrative head of the National Youth Parliament, the Gambia. Thank you.
What's your impression about this event?
I think so for me, this is quite very important. At some point, sometimes last month, the Gambia, the Young Writers Association reached out to me together with their partners, indicating that they wanted to have a program for young people of the Gambia with regards to leadership. And when they wrote to us and talked about the ideas they have and the objective they have with regards to this engagement, for us, that is one thing that is very, very key, because one thing we've been advocating for in the Gambia for quite a long time is having young people participate in leadership roles, having young people participate in politics. But there is always one fundamental question, and that is, before you ask young people to participate in leadership roles, before you ask young people to take part in politics, the first fundamental question is, do the young people have the capacity to be able to discharge those responsibilities effectively? And in order for us to be able to ensure we meaningfully participate in leadership, we must be able to train and capacitize ourselves so that when we take responsibilities, we discharge those responsibilities with adequacy, but also with purpose. And that was why this program is quite very important to us. We wanted to participate in whichever way is possible. So when they said they needed space, they needed somewhere to hold this engagement, I told them the National Youth Parliament was going to be more than happy to give you the space and let you carry on with this activity. And that is why we've given them space to conduct this engagement, and it's quite very impactful.
Okay, that's great. As the clerk of this association, what are some of the other plans that you have after this program?
So the National Youth Parliament has what we call the National Youth Leadership Academy. Now, what we do with the National Youth Leadership Academy is to provide spaces for young people, to train them to become better leaders, to train them to become better young people, but also to train young people to participate fully in politics so that young people take charge of their own responsibilities. Now, this is one way of training young people. But do we have an avenue to ensure that this training does not just end within the four corners of this class, or it does not just end after these 3 days? Do we have an avenue that ensures that there is continuity and there is sustainability in the programs and the policies that we want to do as young people? So the National Youth Parliament serves as that ground. We ensure that programs of this nature do not die out. They live within our spaces, and we continue to invest in them to ensure there is a sustainable way of us making sure that we train more young people and enable more young people to understand what their roles and what their responsibilities are in society, and how they as young leaders can effectively participate in the development of our country. So basically, that is what we seek to do.
Okay, hence this program is all about training youths about leadership. So what piece do you have for the youths that are out there?
So for me, I think it's a fundamental responsibility for each young person to know what your role is. We are not all cut out to become leaders that will be sitting in offices. We are all not cut out to be leaders that will be presidents, be ambassadors and stuff like that. But understanding leadership as a young person helps you build a more sustained community, a more sustained environment. So even if you're not aspiring to be in public office, it is important to understand what responsibilities are people best taught with when they are in public offices, so that when we call our officials to action, we call them to action on the things that are genuine, but not just anything that we call them to action to. So that is why each young person should make it a responsibility to at least expose themselves somehow to understand what their roles are and how they can contribute effectively to building a more sustained society for the Gambia and for the unborn future that we have in this country, that hopefully we will find an environment that is lively arrange for them so that they're able to develop as young people.
What's your final message?
My final message is to say a very big thank you to you, Find Media, for making sure that this event is out there, but also for continuing to enlighten people. Because one thing is key: everything that is happening here is just going to end here without any media taking it out to ensure other people reaches it. And again, you people play fundamental roles in the development of our society, in our democracy, because you make information available. And information in the Gambia today is not just a privilege, it's a right. We have access to information law, and therefore making sure people are aware is one way of contributing immensely to the democratic dispensation of the Gambia. So I thank each and every one of you, but also thank the participant, and hope that when they finish this engagement, they are going to make the best use of the training that they've taken from the past 2 days.
All right, thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Keba S. Juara, President of the Young Writers Association of the Gambia.
Why do you initiate this program?
Yes, as writers, we are known to be people who can mirror the society, bring out the things that are in the society through our writings. And most times, if you look at the write-ups of Africans, leadership has never been out of it, because it is one of the biggest challenges in Africa. So instead of always putting it into books criticizing, we were thinking of a way to better solve the problems of Africa, especially regarding its leadership. So we are looking for means to solve this. And when we came across the International Association of African Authors and Scholars, who have gone further from authorship to leadership training, we said it is a good initiative to come with them, collaborate with them, give them the platform, and give Gambian people the opportunity to interact with them and train Gambians on leadership.
Okay, what's your impression?
Yeah, I think it is a very big success here, having over 60 young people being trained on leadership. The slogan is leadership skills before leadership position. So we are hopeful that the people we are training here would gather these leadership skills and start on their own, and also train other people to become better leaders and themselves leading by example. So tomorrow we will be able to have leaders who already have the skills of leadership before they mount leadership position. So I think this is a very big success on my side, and I'm very satisfied.
As the president of Young Writers Association, what message do you have for the youth that are watching this?
Yes, I want to tell the youth, embody what you preach in your words. There is nothing more unfaithful and more unfair than criticizing people for something that you also do. If we want better Africa, it starts with us. When we criticize something, we do not become the same people who commit those crimes. So I want to tell the young people, the write-ups you make against corruption, the write-ups you make against nepotism, favoritism, and all those isms that you are not satisfied with, do not be an agent of it. Stand against it at all costs, through your pen and paper and through your actions. So to the young people, be good leaders. If you are a reader, you are a writer, you are supposed to be a leader, and not just any leader, but a good leader, a leader who has the vision for Africa, someone who can take Africa further, because there is no country or no continent that can develop without its own indigents. We are the people who are supposed to develop Africa. The problem of Africa is not natural resources. We are blessed with a lot of it. We have sunlight, we have deposits in our soil, we have a lot in our rivers and our ozones. The problem has always been leadership. So I think this is the starting point. We give people leadership skills, the young people, so when they grow up, they can do it better. Yes.
Okay, what message do you have for Fine TV?
Yes, Fine TV has always been a friend. And I guess all the book launches I've attended, Fine TV has always been there. You've always been responsive, and you've always delivered excellent job. We will never forget Fine TV. That's why when our partners said they want a full coverage, the first thing that came to our mind was, let us contact Fine TV. And every delivery is done with excellence, with professionalism, and it's very timely. You know, already we have posts on social media, including YouTube, on this event. So as we are progressing, the world is knowing what we are doing. So we are very happy with Fine TV. You are very good in this working relationship, and we will be happy to continue working with you. You are not just doing this for your TV, you are doing it for the Gambia, you are doing it for Africa. And for Africa to go further, it is people like you that we need. So we are happy to work with you.
Thank you so much. What's your final message?
Yes, to all my people, members of the Young Writers Association of the Gambia, and those who are yet to join us, this is our moment. We do not have to wait to get old to take up leadership positions or leadership responsibilities or leadership qualities. We have to take it now, embody it, live it, believe in it, have the vision, have our goals, work towards it, making ourselves the best people right now. So tomorrow we do not have to point at others to make examples. We can use ourselves as the very best examples, having a very clean track record of good leadership. It starts now, and I believe, all of us believe, it is now and not tomorrow and not next tomorrow.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kira.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Fine TV.
Good evening. I am Aissatou Diallo, one of the participants of the International Leadership Skill Training. Yeah.
Okay, Aisha, we are glad to have you here.
Thank
What
you.
are some of the significant things that you learned from this training?
Okay, as I mentioned, I am one of the participants of the leadership skill training. So of course I have learned a lot of new leadership skills. Then my thought of leadership, it was wrong. Like I was thinking that anybody can become a leader without going the proper training. But because of this training today, I have learned a lot of leadership skills that will enable me in my leadership journey, and it also motivates me to take up leadership responsibilities.
What's your final message?
My final message is acquire leadership skill before vying for any leadership position, and choose your leaders wisely.
Thank you so much, Aisha.
My name is Yoro Jame. I'm a youth activist and a teacher as well.
Okay, Yoro, what are some of the significant things you learned from this leadership training?
Well, I will first of all thank the Writers Association and the NYP for organizing, in collaboration with the IAA, for organizing such an initiative, because this one, it has equipped and empowered us. I have learned a lot. I've realized that in Africa we have three sets of generations of leaders that have passed in Africa. The first ones, those are the people who free us from our colonial masters, and these people, they have set us a benchmark. But the second set of leaders also, these are the people who came and make a lot of disruptions. So the third set of leaders are the people who are trying to mess up this mess. As you can see, this third set of leaders are still struggling with the setbacks that were done by the second set of leaders. So this leadership training has taught me all those things. It has also taught me that leadership, it doesn't matter, the age doesn't matter, the size doesn't matter. It's about having the honesty, the confidence, and the competence in yourself, in having the belief that you can do it, and also having honesty. So I believe with this type of trainings is going to keep young Gambian to make sure that we take ownership of our country, we take ownership of our destiny, because we are the ones that can change the narratives of this country. As we were saying that we are the future leaders, but it all starts from now. So the step has to start. And before leadership position, we have to learn what is leadership position. That will be wonderful.
What's your final message?
Well, my final message is to my colleague is that whenever we go back to our communities, let us make sure that we disseminate this information, because the knowledge learned here should not, we should not leave the knowledge to ourselves. No, but we should make sure that we disseminate the knowledge to ourselves, and we should make sure that we also practicalize, because when you look at Africa, practicalization is our problem. We will go to workshops, trainings, and after learning those things, then that's where everything dies. But we make sure that what we learn here, the honesty that we are talking about, when we go to our communities, we make sure that we become a change. We become the champions of honesty. We become champions of accountability, transparency, so that others will look upon to us. Yeah, so that will be very, very impressive. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Fine TV, for that wonderful. Your TV has been doing great. Yeah, I believe when we have Fine TV and its kind in the Gambia, young people, our talents will be showcased, and also it's really going to empower the youth of this country, because whatever the youth are going, you people are always there to show up So keep it up. We are doing a great job. We really
Thank you.
appreciate it. Yes, thank you.
Good afternoon, Fine TV. I am Mustafa Huma, a participant of the Youth Leadership Training.
Mustafa, what are some of the significant things you learned from this leadership training?
Thank you very much for that wonderful question. I think this training is very, very important. From here, I am able to understand that, in fact, most people at first, let me say, has been mistaking leadership for, let's say, maybe, how would I say it, managerial role. You understand?
Yeah.
So I have now come to understand that most people who claim to be leaders, or most people who think they are leaders, are now in actual sense managers. Yes, leadership is not just about what we see, that the mere thing we see usually is being in front. It is more than that. It exits that. Leadership is about having the ability to influence, to lead, to direct or redirect, among other things. Yes, I'm able to learn a lot from this training. Yes.
What's your final message?
Well, I would say I think the Young Writers Association of the Gambia, in partnership with other bodies here, are doing excellent work. And I would call on all the youths to at least register in trainings like this. This is very, very good. This would help to capacitate them. Sometimes we want to be leaders, but it's good we make sure that we develop our skills first. Just like one of the professors say here, almost everyone is a leader, but sometimes there's the need to harness that role you have in yourself. It is just a matter of awakening the skill that is in you. Huh? Like if you have a seed, you want it to germinate, there are things you need to do. Even though the seed is valuable, but there are things you would have to apply. So the same thing
Needs
here.
manual.
As young leaders, I would say, let us try to capacitate ourselves. It is important. If you are not capacitated and you want to go and impact lives, sometimes it's difficult. Yes. So that is my final message to the young people out there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm Jukaba, a teacher and also a spoken word artist.
Mr. Jukaba, what do you learn from today's event?
I can say this session is one of the best so far I have attended in my life, because I have learned a lot of things, despite going through other leadership training or leadership courses and through tertiary institution. But then I believe this 3-day session have covered a lot that I've never learned throughout my life. So it's really inspiring and also educational as well.
What's your final message?
Yeah, my final message is that whosoever attend this program, I also urge you to share the message with others that may not have the opportunity in wherever you are, whether it is at home or your workplaces or within your peers or at school level. So of course this will help a lot of individuals to take responsibilities and also develop the desirable characters for the betterment of everyone in the society, the country and the continent at large, down to the world as well.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
My name is Fatima Jiture.
Fatima, what do you learn from today's event?
I have learned that the African education system is very poor and we need to elevate it. We need to teach the young generation so that they can become better leaders tomorrow. And in doing this, we should start it from the ECD level, so that they can grow with the skill and so that they can be better leaders, as I said.
What's your final message?
My final message to the people is that they should try and attend training like this so that they can improve themselves, their leadership skills, so that they can rule this Africa, because Africa is lagging behind. We can see the US people, they are ahead, they are far, far ahead of us. And we need to make plans now before it's too late.
Thank you so much, Fatima.
Thank you.
I am Mohamed Eba. Yeah.
Mohamed Eba, what do you learn from this event?
I learned many things. So let me give you a few things that I have learned and I can try to help others. First of all, I learned that no one should give up. And failing an exam does not mean that you are a failure or you are useless. Yeah. So and secondly, I am a student and I am young, very young. I have the aim that yes, I want to be a soldier. But now, it's like they are encouraging me more and more. Being a soldier does not mean that you are useless or being something. For me, my aim, I want to rule. I want to have the name. I want to join the people who know that yes, they change the Gambia or they change Africa. That's my aim. Yeah.
What's your final message?
My final message is that this kind of organizations, every youth, everyone should try to put more force on it because it encourages youths. Being a citizen does not mean that talking like you can talk anything. Yeah, that's what I have.
Okay, you mean to say they should come up with solutions to
Good.
the problem?
Come up with solutions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rohi El Sise. I'm the Communication Director of GAMS Team 21st Century, a member of the Young Writers Association of the Gambia, and a facilitator of this leadership training.
All right, Roy Sise. How happy are you to see your event as a successful one?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very happy to see this event as a successful one because not only one young person is targeted, but more than 50 young people were targeted, and Alhamdulillah, we are able to train all of them. They believe now that leadership is not all about the documents that you can acquire in the college or university, but the responsibility that you are able or willing to take as a young person in your community, in your village, in anywhere it can be. It doesn't actually have to be that big, but leadership starts with ourselves anywhere that we are. Today, young people are very happy because the mentality people have is that as a leader, you must acquire documents, but through the presentation of many facilitators, they realize that you can be a leader through the influence and the responsibility and the decision makings and consequences of things that you can be able to do positively in your society. So a special thanks to Mr. Chinedum Igwe, who is the Executive Director of the International Association of African Authors and Scholars, Dr. Charles Uti, who is the General Secretary, and of course the Africa's representative, Dr. Franklin Obiago, not forgetting the President of the Young Writers Association of the Gambia, Mr. Keba S. Juara. And also to Find TV Gambia, the best TV in the Gambia, always making sure that they help us in all aspects to make sure everyone sees the things that we are doing. Thanks to Find TV, thanks to the International Association of African Authors and Scholars, thanks to the National Youth Parliament, thanks to young writers, and thanks to everyone who is able to make sure that they attend this leadership training. I hope next year we are going to make sure we train thousands of Gambians, not only Gambians, but the whole Africa. We need leaders. We need to reset the leadership mindset of African people. So we need to make sure we learn leadership skill first before leadership position.
Okay, what's your final message?
My final message is for everyone to register and join the International Association of African Authors and Scholars, and also to join the Young Writers of Association of the Gambia. Even though you are not a writer, we can help you because we believe that as long as you have a story, you are a writer.
Thank you so much, Rohi.
Thank you, Fine TV Gambia, the best TV.
I'm Ansu Jata, the National Youth Parliamentarian-elect for Brikama South, and at the same time the PRO of the Young Writers Association of the Gambia.
So what do you learn from this leadership training?
I must be very much honest. I learned good traits of a leader. That's our country, the vibe that we are. This is one of the things we are lacking. And then, in fact, it's one of the things that had pushed me to attend this. I must be very honest. I've learned what it takes to be a good leader. Yeah.
What's your final message?
Yeah, my final message to everybody out there watching this is people taking responsibility. Like first, one of the few things we've learned is to understand what leadership is all about, learning what leadership is before you become a leader. The concept that the leaders are born, we shouldn't take it very lightly, but rather we see it as a responsibility upon ourselves to understand before we take up the responsibility to lead. And in all is to say, let us be responsible for who we want to be. For the changes we want should start with us foremost and not somebody else there. This we want every youth to understand. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much.
My name is Lamil B.I., a final year student at the University of the Gambia School of Education. and a teacher by profession, and a participant, of course, on this intensive leadership training that is conducted here at National Youth Parliament.
Okay, Mr. Lamin, right? What are some of the important things that you learned from this leadership training?
Basically, thank you for that wonderful question. I will start it from the team. That is basically that in leadership, you have to learn the skills of leadership before being a leader. So probably some people will assume to take the leadership role without acquiring the skills. But with this program, I am able to understand that indeed leadership is a skill that whoever assumes to be a leader, you need to acquire those skills before assuming leadership role.